Welcome to sector analysis video, and in this video we are going to discuss 4 important points which is going to solve all your problems, all your doubts that you have had. The first point, we'll understand what is the need for sector analysis. Have you ever thought, why do you do it? What is the motive behind it? The second thing is, I'm sure you have heard about these things, market breadth. Then there is something also called as situational awareness. We'll talk about that, how useful they are. Then there is this concept of understanding sectors. Because once you understand, there's a table I'll tell you I've made. It will make sectors very easy for you. Once you understand that, things become much easier. And the fourth point is what you should do as a trader, as somebody who's full-time trading or part-time trader. What do you get out of this, right? You will get everything. If you're new to the channel, please make sure that you join the public Telegram group in the link below. There is amazing case study PDF book of around 18 pages for you to learn everything that I do, how I trade. The link is in description. You can contact me through my Twitter, through my email, YouTube, or even the website. So make sure you check it out. So let's begin. And the first point is, what is the need for sector analysis? Let's first address that point. Let's first understand what are we trying to achieve through it. Once we are clear on that, we will have a defined path. So the first thing is organizing your watch list. See, what I've seen after educating and interacting with a lot of people, making them traders, the need is organizing themselves, organizing their watch list. Now, there are ways to it, and sector analysis happens to be one of the best ways to organize your watch list. Then the second point is narrowing your playing field for a better focus. I've seen people, if I give them my scans, they struggle a lot because they say that, okay, on a daily basis, we are getting somewhere around 100, 120 stocks. And in 5 days, suddenly you are sitting with 500 stocks on your screen. It gets really difficult day in and day out to go through that large number of stocks, especially if you're a beginner, if you're learning. So with sector analysis, what happens is you only have a few names from the sectors which are good. What happens? Now you only have a very limited set of stocks to focus upon. It makes you better organized and it keeps your focus better, which in turn is much easier to manage than, having 500 stocks and 100 new stocks coming every single day, right? Doesn't take that off your mental bandwidth. And then the fourth point is institutions, big money, smart money, operators, manipulators, whatever you like to address. People usually are behind these, right? It's something that is deep-rooted in their minds. That if they can catch these people, if they know which sector these people are in, then they have a chance of making a lot of money, right? So again, if you catch a sector and in those sectors you find some good specific stocks, you can always, say that you are with the big money, where the volumes are coming in. And at last, the whole point of doing this is to be with the good moving stocks, the stocks which are giving explosive moves, which are moving fast, which are moving in a better way, and make money out of it. I mean, that's what you are here for. Whatever you do, the end goal is to make money according to your needs, in a way you want to make money, right? This is, I believe, the need for sector analysis, right? To be at the right place, at the right time. Correct? Okay, so let's address what has been done to deal with this problem of sector analysis to get better. So, you have heard this thing, market breadth and situational awareness. I'll talk about it. See, the first thing is what I'll tell you. Market breadth is something which is common sense and it is an inherent part of technical analysis. What do I mean by that? See, it entirely depends on what you want to achieve in the markets, what kind of stocks you want to trade, and what kind of returns are you looking for through a single trade that you put on. If you put on a trade and your goal is to make 10% quickly, 15% quickly, you are playing an entirely different game. If your goal is to put on a trade and make at least 50-60% out of it, your game is again entirely different from the person who's aiming at 10-15% in a quick time. Then there could be somebody who just wants to do SIP for the next 5 years. His game is again entirely different. So first you have to be aware of these things, and then you have to target these things like market breadth. Because what I've seen is people coming up with, separate sheets. People have made indicators. The problem with that is they will only cloud your judgment, and it is at the end of the day it's going to lead you to poor decision making in the markets. And see, in the stock markets, trading is all about decision making. And whenever you use this external data of, market breadth or indicators, they simply cloud you. They simply make your judgment poor, and which leads to underperformance, right? Because let's say I'm somebody who is looking for quick 10%, 15%. That's how I trade. That's what I look for. I don't care about 60% or 100% returns. I want 10, 15% in a very frequent manner. To me, market breadth doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. I don't care what is happening with the markets. The markets could be in a downturn. Well, in the up move of the market, I'll be making money. And if the market is in the uptrend, I'll have a lot of opportunities to rotate my capital. It's as simple as that. Now, what happens is, somebody who's a trader, who's a beginner, he is not aware of this fact. And he treats market breadth because when you take market breadth, what you are looking for is a sustained move in the uptrends usually, right? And when a beginner who is looking to trade quickly for 10% moves, and he goes on to look at the market breadth, and somebody says, oh, the market is not that great, which means the market could be choppy in the next 6 months. It could go sideways, right? It definitely could. Does that mean you will not have opportunities to make 10-15%? Who are you kidding? If the market is falling for the next previously 2 days, do you really think there will be no opportunities? In fact, the best opportunities come when the market takes a sharp downturn. It all depends on your technical analysis. What do you call technical analysis? That is important thing, and how you approach it. And now what has happened is these things are become marketing gimmicks to keep you hooked and create the illusion of a knowledge gap or the perception that a superior advantage exists elsewhere. The edge basically, right? So some people say, oh, you were trading. First of all, your technical analysis is not good. And on top of that, people tell, oh, you took this trade. Well, the SL was bound to hit because the market was extended or the market breadth was poor. So you shouldn't be trading. I mean, that is absolutely crap. I mean, Hindi mein there is this thing. It's called Havabazi. They themselves don't know anything. And they go on to tell you these things. So I would say, I mean, if you are here watching this video, I'm sure up till now, if you have been using any of these tools, any of these methods, you probably, have this vacuum in. You don't get the concept of this. Sometimes this happens, sometimes that happens. There's always an answer ready, right? It's not very practical. So just know this, it's nothing but a market gimmick right now. And talking about situational awareness, well, see, you just need good technical analysis, knowledge, and you need to develop awareness in your being itself. There's nothing, I wouldn't say that, okay, for the markets, develop situational awareness. I would say develop awareness in your being, in your life. See how aware you are of things happening around you. Because if you are like that in your life, you are going to carry that in the markets as well. And situational awareness will come as a byproduct to you in the markets. If you are somebody who is aware of things, what is happening around, that's going to come to the markets. You don't need to go out of your way, watch a lecture on situational awareness, or you need a webinar of situational awareness. It's not needed at all. Just be an aware person, because when you are aware, you will have a different thought pattern in your life, which will come to the markets, and you will see that whatever those people are giving the knowledge, that knowledge is going to come from within you. You already have that, trust me. It's just that you don't practice these things, and you rather directly go to situational awareness and all these things, just marketing gimmicks, honestly. People are just trying to portray themselves as they are something. So I would say practice these things. Now, enough talk about what things already exist. Now, let's talk about sectors. How does it play out? See, first of all, you need to understand in the markets there are two kind of sectors. One I call them as concentrated sectors, and the second is what I call as diluted sectors. So, what is the difference and what's the implication of these? See, concentrated sectors are those where if I tell you something, if I tell that this is a sector that is going to perform well, you will have a very defined set of stocks to look at. There is basically not going to be any proxy play of that. So the first thing that you will see is PSU banks. If you have been in the markets, you will see how amazingly well the PSU bank stocks have performed. All of them. And I'll give you a live example of this. So if I tell you that, okay, the PSU banks are doing good, it simply means go and check out the PSU banks. It's as simple as that. There's nothing more than that. There's nothing less than that. I mean, you have witnessed the railway stocks, the RVNLs, IRCTC, RailTel, IRFCs. They all are related to the railway, right? So there is a very concentrated basket. Same goes for the sugar stocks as well. Concentrated baskets of the stocks. Same implies for the textiles. The IT industry, to a large extent, is a concentrated sector. And even the realty, right? Now, what is then diluted sectors and why these names are here? What does it mean? Let's take the example of finance sector. Let's say your finance is good. The finance sector is good. Now see, the finance sector can have NBFC stocks, can have life insurance stocks, can have PSU bank stocks, can have private bank stocks, right? Do you see how just by saying finance, it doesn't give you a concentrated basket? There are just a lot of ways for it. There are a lot of other sectors, other concentrated sectors that contribute to the sector of the finance, correct? Then there is this sector called as pharma. Now, pharma, I would say it is diluted because see, when pharma does good, the chemicals tag along. And when chemicals good, the pharma tags along. You will see that, right? So if I say pharma is good, it could imply that the pharma stocks in themselves are not doing that great. In fact, the chemical stocks are doing so good that they are taking pharma stocks up with them. Doesn't make anything clear. And the same thing applies for the chemical stocks as well. Because within chemical stocks, you have a lot of concentrated sectors, specialty chemicals, and a lot of them, fertilizers, can just keep on going and you will have a concentrated sectors of those. Same thing goes for the energy sector as well. Now, yes, there are a few names concentrated to the energy, but then there is, electrical products that will come in. Then there'll be mineral stocks that will come in. Then there'll be a lot of steel and energy stocks that will come in energy sector. And which brings me to the metal sector. If the metal sector is doing good, yes, it feels very concentrated. But if you look at the markets, if you look how the auto stocks are doing, how the metal steel stocks are doing, how the energy stocks are doing, how the mineral stocks are doing, how the machinery stocks are doing, you will find yourself that, okay, metals is not as concentrated as it can be. And that is why it is in the diluted. Same goes for the auto, because when the auto is good, you will see the machinery also doing good. Industrial machinery stocks, commodities, milling stocks are doing good. So what is that? It's pretty simple. If you have a stock from a diluted sector which is coming in your scan, I'll teach you how to go about that. You cannot be really sure that that sector is going really good. But if you get a stock which belongs to a concentrated sector, then you know that this is a sector you have to check out all the stocks from and select the best out of them. If you see a fertilizer stock, it's your duty to check all the fertilizer stocks then. And after that, you have to see the any other chemical related stock. If the other chemical stocks are doing good, then you know that the chemical as whole sector is doing good. But it's entirely possible that you see that it's only the fertilizer stocks that are doing good. So this is the advantage. And if you have this understanding, you will do amazingly well. I'll teach you how. And the best way to get this concept, the best way to practice is go through the charts, but with awareness. I've seen a lot of people, they say, oh, I practice 100 charts a day. I've practiced 1,000 charts till now. But what is missing is awareness. They're simply sleeping and watching the charts. They're like zombies sitting at the screen, going through a chart and thinking they'll know something. I tell you, watch a single stock chart with a lot of awareness every single day, and you will unlock a lot of secrets of the market yourself. You'll not need anybody else. You don't need me. You will do it yourselves. So now I'll tell you what you should do and what I did. So see, when you see a stock from a concentrated sector, again, you go through awareness, you have a very fair amount of list here, and that stock is breaking out, pay attention to that. See how the moving averages are. See where the stock is in its horizontal cycle. What is horizontal cycle? The video is flashing on your screen. Make sure you watch that. Then your job is to check all the other listed stocks from the sector. You can just do a Google search, PSU Bank's listed stocks on NSE, and you will get the list. Then check the DNA, check the location, check the time frames, and make your decision to select the best one. Now, what is DNA? What is location, time frames, decisions? Check out the Retro Trading Academy playlist. These lectures are free of cost, available for you. You will always get the best trades and good stocks from the concentrated sectors. That's a guarantee. So this is a conversation I had with a friend of mine on 14th of January 2024. He basically asked me for a few stocks, and I told him that PSU sector is good, PSU banks. So you should look, and he asked me, such as, I gave him these four, Mahabank, PSB, UCO Bank, IOB, right? Now let's see what happened. Where did I select these stocks? Why did I select these stocks? How it helps you. The first chart you see here is of Mahabank. The color of the candles is because of this indicator that we use in the academy. This arrow I have made here is the date of 14th of January. And I got this candle looking like this. And this is basically how the stock was looking like. This is how it was arranged. This is how the moving averages were. And this was the candle. This was the volume. If Mahabank is doing this, I have to check all the other PSU banks, right? I went on to check the other stocks. I saw PSB on the same date doing the same thing. I saw UCO Bank same day doing the same thing. I saw IOB on this day doing this. Okay, so what does it mean? Let's see one thing more now. If you see the DNA of the Mahabank, you don't see a lot of dark blue candles, single one. And after that, the candles are just okay with a lot of wicks. Fine. That is what led me to check the other stocks. No doubt this gave you amazing returns as well. But then I saw PSB. Look at the quality of candles on PSB and then the move that came. Look at the quality of candles you had in UCO Bank over here and look what you got here. Look at the quality of candles you had in IOB. These were the missing points of Mahabank, but they were present in IOB and UCO Bank. See for yourself where the stock came and see what unfolded. And I personally don't use any market bet. I don't use any sector-specific indicator or sheets. I simply use my common sense and awareness. So why I'm able to catch these stocks? Through a single stock. Mahabank came in the scanner I use. Through that, I got these. Pretty simple. How do I know this? I have the idea, I have the awareness of this concept. Concentrated sectors and diluted sectors. Now you might be thinking that if we can get some real life examples right now, what are the sectors we should focus upon? Again, worry don't, I've got you covered. Because tomorrow on Sunday, I will give you the weekly setup stock list wherein I'll show you this concept working, because definitely there are a few sectors that are gearing up for the next rally and you'll see it on the charts. I'll show it to you how to develop that awareness, how to look at the charts, what points you should take a note of.